From the top of the Silver City Ballroom, it's the Dirty Laundry Show with Joey Clifton and the Meatball.
So you people laugh here, some of you think I'm a little cuckoo.
When are you people going to stand up for us?
I do not feel safe. I take that as a threat.
So let's talk about the library.
Yeah, but they can't.
Don't make me make any excuses just yet.
No, you're full of shit.
You're full of shit.
No, listen.
He comes running out of the woods with a flamethrower, dude.
Whole life out here enjoying the journey.
Sometimes I cannot help myself. I just tell people that they're stupid.
We like to call him Ninjalito.
That's his fame.
Hello, Joe.
This was the largest event held on the green. My estimates were 4,000 plus. Others said there was at least close to 5,000 people.
Wow, that's fantastic.
You want to get into it? Let's get into it.
I really love that intro.
That's great. I work on it so hard.
My favorite is, oh, that's fantastic.
That's the best.
That's Lois DeMayo, right? So we got a lot of things to talk about this week.
Oh, yeah?
A ton of things.
Like what?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody who listens on iHeartRadio. Like on social media, I always post the YouTube version of the show because I think that's the easiest platform for people to listen to the show.
Most universal.
But if you're like me, I can't stand listening on YouTube because as soon as I try to turn the screen off and blacken it out, you end up losing, like, it turns off.
You're multitasking?
Right. So if you're listening like on iHeartRadio or you listen on iTunes, it doesn't, you could turn the black screen off on your phone and you can still listen to it. But it's still trying to figure out how do most people listen to podcasts? How do they stream radio? And if you're like me, driving in the car is most of the time when I'm doing it. So we've been getting a lot of emails like asking for the link for iHeartRadio and also for iTunes. So I think on the next one, on this one, I'll post the different links to the different
You're going to confuse
platforms.
people.
Well, yeah.
People are easily confused. Just stick to YouTube for...
You think so?
For the Facebook purposes.
Well, we have a special guest in the studio that was kind of unannounced. It's Mr. Meriden Talks, Mr. Sean McDonald.
What is it? Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Sean was down at Bar 105 hanging out with both Mannys.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You had Manny Santos and Manny, the owner of Bar 105. And I was like, Sean, we're getting ready to record. Why don't you come down? And here you are.
Right.
Thank you for inviting me.
So before we get into like all the news and everything like that, give me a quick background on how did you become the moderator on Meriden Talks? Meriden Talks has what, 12,000 followers now?
About 12,000 people.
How did you? I mean, were you friends? I mean, the administrator is Chris
Dingwell.
Yes.
And back in the day, it was Gabe and Chris Dingwell. And over the course of the years, I developed a friendship with both Chris and Gabe, and they basically reached out to me and said, you want to know what? We think you can be a good moderator and come on and voice your opinions and try to keep everybody in line as much as you can and try to cause, stir the pot a little bit when you can. And, and basically that's what I try to do. And
well, it was definitely their thing.
Well, and I think that's what's different from Meriden Talks. Meriden Talks has this like stirring the pot compared to some of the other places.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. We're trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm trying to be as neutral as I possibly can, but sometimes being politically correct doesn't
jive with that.
Exactly. No. And sometimes everybody has their personal opinions, and sometimes it gets, it gets out of hand. Sometimes
people have their personal opinions?
Absolutely.
Especially in Meriden.
Absolutely. Everybody knows what's the best pizza place in Meriden.
What is it, though?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have noticed that
it hasn't been determined what the best pizza place is yet.
No, I've noticed that Meriden Talks is going through kind of its own little change.
Right.
With thank you for getting rid of the political post, the national political post, because that was really getting annoying, and it really had nothing to do with Meriden. Like, there's a ton of Facebook posts out there and groups that you could join if you want to talk about Trump and everything else.
Exactly. I'm trying to, like I said, I have no problem with federal posts and everything. If you're pro-Trump, you're against Trump. If you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, if you're a Democrat, I don't really care what you are. it's getting to be a little cumbersome when you come home from work or you turn on the television and everything is this and this and this about political. And when you go on social media, you kind of want to escape that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So again, I just had a conversation with Chris and I just said, look, why don't I just postpone it a little bit or, try to tell everybody to chill out for a little bit. And when it gets closer to election time, we'll allow the bashing to begin.
Well, believe it or not, I mean, when we're looking for a place to eat, Meriden Talks is the place I go. Like I'll just go into search for
pizza.
Whether I'm looking, no, I don't search for pizza. I'll search for like wings and who's got the best whatever, and it does come up.
Hey, as far as small businesses in Meriden, as far as food's concerned, Meriden has the best restaurants and small businesses and I don't know, throughout the state of Connecticut, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, but going back to the previous topic, isn't no censorship is what allow MT to grow to 12,000 users?
I personally agree on that, the no censorship, but it's kind of hard when, you have grown adults that act like 12-year-old children, bashing each other, telling each other,
Yeah, but that's what Meriden's about.
Again, I beg to disagree with you, but again, when people start bringing in their, attacking their children, attacking their families, and
well, yeah, there's definitely a line, but also
you gotta draw that line,
right? But there's also that's why there's 12,000 users. People say no drama, but they love the drama.
Yeah, like I have the neighborhood watch thing, and the reason why I
patrol the streets.
Well, I created that forum because really I enjoy knowing like if something's happening in my neighborhood. So if the other night, believe it or not, on Gracie Ave, there was a couple cop cars outside.
You mean Gracie Hills?
Well, yeah, we call it the Gracie Hills. We feel a little bit better. You know the bridge you go under, the one-lane bridge? That's our gatehouse.
And it goes up the hill from there.
Because we're better than everybody else. But anyway, there was a cop sitting in front of my house, like actually parked on my grass. So I'm looking out the window and I'm like, what's he doing out there the whole time? And I'm watching him for like 10 minutes. And I'm saying, there's no way he's like checking for speeding or anything like that. All of a sudden, you see the cops run down the street, get in the car in front of my house, and they moved the car like 2 houses up, and they had a guy sitting at the wall. There was nothing. There was nothing on the
Meriden P2C.
Right, the CAD calls. I will never find out what happened right in front of my house. So I created the Neighborhood Watch group. Really, I just want to concentrate on crimes and people breaking into your cars and stuff like that. I don't care about political. I don't care about anything else because I think that there's plenty of other. I mean, you got a forum for everything.
Absolutely.
If you're into having sex with animals, I'm sure that there's a forum out there for you. And I know quite a few people in Meriden that probably would do that. But you know what I mean? Like, I think separating the groups and really defining them really helps decide, what groups you want to. Like, I know which groups do I want to go to hear positive stuff. Which groups do I want to go to hear conflicting stories? Which, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what makes Meriden Talks what it is. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of positivity. You're going to get a little bit of negativity. Well, actually, a lot of negativity. You're going to get
lots of drama.
Lots of drama. Absolutely. You're going to get a little bit of everything.
Have you personally met a majority of the, I don't want to call them loudmouths, but I guess the Meriden Talks regulars? Like there's quite a few people on there that will comment on everything, will post on everything. Have you met just about everybody that posts?
Over the past 3 years, I have. I mean, going into businesses, I've had people approach me and say, "Oh, I know who you are. I'm this person. I'm this person." A lot of people do have fake accounts, have different names because they're
who has fake accounts?
Well,
come on.
Well, they're protecting their identity because of who they are in the city and and what they do for livings and stuff like that.
We know who Albert Newman is, by the way.
No, so do I.
Yeah. That name changed.
It did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So we can't have the contest.
You can Google Albert Newman, but somebody else is gonna George something.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, you're gonna get a little bit of everything on Meriden Talks, and again, I don't know how to describe it to you. You're either gonna get the good and the bad, and you try to be as neutral as you possibly can, and that's what I'm trying to be. I used to be very one straight way all the time.
Yeah.
But I've learned to, like I said, you got to take the good and the bad, and if you you work with that and you try to be as neutral as you possibly can, then everything works out.
One of the things that bothers me the most, and it really has nothing to do with Meriden Talks,
It's the weather.
It's just social media in general. Is the, what do you call it when you comment on something and then everybody just hits you full force? What do you call that? Like, it's not the bait thing.
Bullying?
Huh?
I call it bullying. Everybody's got an opinion.
Well, no, like in other words, the Record Journal put out a post on, I don't know what it was, best pizza in Connecticut or
Great
whatever,
post.
right?
I haven't read it. Haven't seen it.
Well,
but I can tell it was great.
So I had posted, hey, you know what? Me personally, Connecticut might have invented the pizza, but in my opinion,
These are fighting words.
New Jersey and New York perfected the pizza. I don't like New Haven pizza. That's my personal taste. I like Jersey and New York pizza. And this asshole just jumped on me and every insult, oh, the Jersey Turnpike and the smells, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, yeah, okay, things I've never heard of before. High hair. Oh, really? And it was just like, dude, I'm adding my opinion like everybody else did, and you have these people that just go after you. One of the people on Meriden Talks, I'll call him out right now.
Who's that?
Noel? Did I say? We all know his name. Noel G. Whatever. He just, you know what? It's like when people broke into my car, because yes, I left my car unlocked because I live in the better section of Meriden, the Gracie Hills. And I didn't think that I needed to lock my car. But anyway, I posted, hey, somebody, broke into my car. Neighbors, be on the lookout. That's all I wanted to do was post that, and they jumped down my throat. What a freaking idiot you are. Why would you leave it? It's like, dude, I wasn't looking for this commentary. You know what I mean? So there's people out there that just jump. What do you call it? What would you call that?
Encouragement.
Like just an asshole?
No, just a reflection of what this community is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joey, everybody in Meriden, or regardless of where they are, everybody has an opinion. And you know what they say about opinions? Everybody's, opinions
there's
are
as
like
many
assholes.
as assholes, right?
You can swear.
Yeah.
Exactly. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. And you want to know what? There's really no right or no wrong. And you want to know what? I sleep well at night. You know what I mean? You make peace with it. You make peace with it. And then you just...
Right.
You say what you mean and you do what you say, and then you
Well, now your big issue is people are flagging the group because people are complaining about stupid shit.
That's where I'm having a hard time. As of yesterday, I don't like when pets get abused and when.
That goes back to the whole having sex thing, right? With animals. We were just talking about that.
No.
All right. But I have a problem when people come on Meriden Talks and they want to give you, hey, my guinea pigs need a home. Or my dog needs a home. And, instead of reaching out to the Humane Society or doing the right thing, they want to give their dogs away for a price tag or just give them away to some random strangers.
Yeah.
And my problem is that if that dog or that hamster or whatever you want to do hurts that person that takes that dog, guess who gets liable or can be sued? And they're going to come to Meriden Talks and they're going to look at the admin and they're going to look at me as for allowing that. But anyway, to make a long story short, yesterday I got a text telling me that I'm a tool. Okay, I've been called worse.
Wrench or screwdriver?
Actually, pliers.
Okay,
adjustable pliers. I got threatened. I was told to watch my back. Told me that
over an animal post?
Over an animal post, and told me that basically told me he doesn't forget faces. And I said, "You're the one who's making threats to me." And he goes, "Well, I don't leave a trail of breadcrumbs. You're an easy person to find." And I kind of chuckled on that.
Yeah.
Now, if I turn around and I take those screenshots and I post them on social media, I become the bad person.
Right.
And so I'm not going to sit there and post it, but I'm also not dumb, and I'm also going to let people know, people that are in my inner circle or people that are close to me, like, hey, this is the person that did this is reaching out to me, and they're like, all right, we got you. We'll take care of you. We'll, if something happens to you, we'll know what's going to happen.
Which is actually, I think, a better thing because at least there's proof. Like when you're posting that stuff, people, if you end up disappearing, out of nowhere.
I'm going to be like Jimmy Hoffa. You're going to find me someplace in Albert Park and then at the pond or whatever.
There's actually a paper trail and people kind of know where it happened.
Exactly.
But there's a big, and I would really like to get into it one day. There's a couple of animal activists that I want to have on. Desmond's Law. I mean, Desmond's Army is incredible. They go to all the courthouses on all the animal cruelty cases, and I want to have them on. But there's a big dogfighting ring in Meriden. Meriden has very big dogfighting rings. I know this for a fact. Animal control, the police, nobody could do anything until they actually get them in the act. But when people post animals online, hey, I don't want my dog anymore. Does anybody want it? That's the first thing I think of is these animal fighting groups are grabbing them for bait dogs.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I don't allow it. And you can go to the Meriden Humane Society or you can,
I'll disagree with that, though.
Why?
Because you're assuming that people are bad.
Well, yeah, I think
that every dog is going to end up at the
no, but I think you do have to assume people are bad because that's where we are.
All right, and that's why people shit talk to each other on MT and other forums.
Yeah,
because they assume everyone else is bad.
Well, you stir the pot quite thick.
Not anymore. I retired from that.
You retired,
right? I got a successful podcast.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into some local news.
Oh boy.
Local news.
All right. So of course we had shots fired. That's
every
too
day.
Loud. There it is. Shots fired this afternoon, Thursday afternoon, Springdale Ave, and I gotta say, for the first time that I've noticed. I got to give a big shout out to the police department because they immediately came out with a statement. Record Journal was there with a live stream of recording the sergeant talking about what happened.
You mean the shots today?
Yeah, this was today on Springdale Ave, like 1:30 in the afternoon, and I think it was a big deal because school was letting out. So they were really concerned with school kids coming. I mean, the school's right down the street. And I gotta say, this is the first time that I've seen the police department release a statement so fast. Normally, we have to wait like how long to find out what happened?
Maybe it was the new communications lady, no?
No, because she wasn't named anywhere. What I did notice was, again, the Record Journal was there with their live stream asking questions. And
ask me where they got their information from. Guess where they came to get the Record Journal down. They came to Meriden Talks. That was posted before Record Journal ever went down there.
Well, yeah, but who did...
I should charge the Record Journal. They should be coming to us and paying us.
Yeah.
Okay? So
well, and I think that's part of the reason why, like I said, I go to Meriden Talks to find out what happened first. And you have to take that with a grain of salt because I think somebody today posted how, they hired somebody to do work on their house and it fell through and it was a big disaster.
Fence.
You know that there's two sides to every story. There's three sides to every story. But when it comes to like the shootings that are constantly happening in the city, and you know what? There's a lot of people out there that can't stand. I got an email just today.
But there's no gang violence in Meriden.
No. Somebody, who was it? Jackie? Wait, where? Yeah, Jackie. Jackie wrote to me and said, why do you guys keep talking about all of the gunshots in Meriden? Well, because gunshots keep happening in Meriden. What? This isn't...
If you ignore it, it'll go away.
Well, no. I mean, we didn't make this podcast to only give you positive news.
Maybe you're the one on the street shooting up so you can have something to talk about.
Well, do you remember last year...
Great pizza.
Last year on North Colony Road, there was a shooting by the apartments there.
Which shooting on North Colony? The first, third, fifth?
It was north of where Show Love is and Scotty O'Boyle's. It was over where the apartment buildings are.
Kind of by the hills, no?
Across the tracks from the hills. But anyway, they just indicted that kid, Pedro Montevallo. He's like 17 years old. And... you read the story, and everybody bitches and complains about Record Journal, right? I got to pay 50 cents or whatever. But this is where we mostly get our news from.
Everyone does.
And
Dirty Laundry CT.
So this story, so check this out. So the mother has a son, right? Pedro. Pedro meets this girl online. Pedro decides to have his mother take him to go pick this girl up. Right? So the mother takes Pedro. They go pick this girl up. She brings the kids back to the house. And I guess...
Do they have pizza?
There was another guy who was dating this girl at the time and found out, oh, hey, what's Pedro doing with this girl? Typical high school bullshit, right?
Uh-huh.
So the mother looks out the window. A car pulls up. Pedro's out there with this girl. A car pulls up. Guys with masks start opening fire, right? Gunshots. This was last February. We're just finding out the details now. We're just finding out the fact that the kid must have had an argument with the guy, whatever. He came inside, grabbed his mother's gun, which was apparently locked in a safe, went outside, and shot the kid a couple of times. And then came back inside, handed the mother the gun, and said, hey, Ma, I just shot this kid. Like, what the hell?
What?
But we're just finding about this now. Why does it take a year for the public to find out, you know what, if I lived next to this apartment complex, I want to know what the hell happened. I heard gunshots. I saw cops. Today was a perfect example. They immediately came out with it. Everybody knows the details. We don't know too much because it's an investigation, but they gave us enough to know what was going on.
I think you watched too much CSI Miami.
No, I do like that show, though.
Yeah.
But
You
know what I
expect
mean?
immediate results.
But we're just finding out a year later what happened.
Good detective work takes time.
Yeah. So, yes, we're going to continue to talk about gunshots because that's what happens in Meriden.
Uh-huh.
Right?
You're going to become a prime suspect soon.
All right, happier news. This Sunday, Freezy Freezes opens.
Yes.
Freezy Freezes, the old Middlesex Community College, right across from the courthouse. They're opening. It's a frozen yogurt. And actually on Sunday, I think from 10 to 1, they're going to actually give you free yogurt.
Free freeze.
But this goes a little bit deeper now.
Cookie dough?
So I was thinking, well, all right, how is a yogurt place, how is an ice cream place downtown going to survive like the winter months? Well, I talked to the owners, Alex and Eddie. Their plan is to open up they do business services. So if your business needs an ATM, if it needs a POS system, if you need a jukebox, Eddie and Alex are the guys to go to. So everybody who needs that for their business.
What does ATM stand for?
ATM, automatic trash disposal. I don't know.
What
does
about
ATM
POS?
stand for?
Automatic teller machine.
Automatic teller. Look at Sean, smart ass.
What about POS?
POS is
Piece of shit.
point of sale. Point of sale. I know that. So anyway, Eddie and Alex have this business that really takes care of. They have their ATMs at the downtown coffee shop. They have it at La Poblanita. They do a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Right.
So their idea was to open up an open workspace in Middlesex Community College building.
Oh.
So on the 5th floor, they wanted, if you ever heard of like Regis offices, it's basically if you need an office space, but you don't want to rent out an entire building,
right?
You rent out just literally your little 10 by 10 square with a desk. Usually they have like, they'll have the water cooler. They'll usually have a microwave. Sometimes they have sandwiches and beer and stuff like that. It's like communal. And you just have to rent out your little tiny office. You see them all over Manhattan all the time. So anyway, Eddie and Alex want to open this up on the 5th floor. And Henry Lee, who owns the building, said, listen, I'd really like someplace for families and kids to go. I'm thinking of a yogurt shop. Would you guys like to run this? And they were like, yeah, sure. So that's how Freezy Freezes came into play. So they're going to open up Freezy Freezes this Sunday, 10 a.m., free yogurt for everybody. They're going to have some arcade games in there and the yogurt and all of that stuff.
And a clown.
But eventually, the big picture is on the 5th floor. They want to open up this open workspace.
All right.
So Mary Ellen from the Record Journal has a weekly news
letter for VIPs.
Yeah, we get it. We get it secretly. I'm not really sure how you subscribe to it, but we're going to have her on in the next couple of weeks, and she'll explain it. And in there, really interesting story. So Medco, Meriden Economic Development Corporation. Okay.
That's what Mr. Dave Cooley's working for, right?
Correct. They want a $91,000 study on whether open workspaces will work in Meriden. Okay, now we go beyond that. I know you're laughing, Sean. We go beyond that. Medco wants the economic development and the city of Meriden to at least cover half of that.
Sure.
Okay. Now, Henry Lee, the owner of the building, never asked for a study. Alex and Eddie, who are going to open up this workspace, never asked for a study. Why is Medco? All right, you know what? Medco could do whatever they want. If they want to do a study, they want to pay for it. maybe they're going to think, hey, if we do a study to see if open workspaces will work in Meriden, then we could start pushing that and trying to find those people. Hey, that's great. But now you want the city to pay half of that $91,000. So right away, me and Meatball said, hey, we're going to start another company doing studies.
Right.
Because we all saw the banquet hall study.
We can do those.
Right.
I
We
mean,
could do those.
I
very
study
easily.
really well.
Yeah. I mean, when we on a side note, when we opened up the ballroom,
right,
we went through population of neighboring towns. We went demographics of neighboring towns. We went how much does the average person spend on a wedding in neighboring towns? I have a book of like 50 pages of.
So you're gonna break even 25 years
of study that shows what the market looks like, as opposed to the banquet hall market study, which was a one-page bullshit thing. Right.
Is the city manager calling you to borrow the study?
No, but they should hire us, right? We're gonna start it off. So anyway, that's where we are now. They want to do a study to see. Now, I don't see. I've heard for many years now there were certain people in the city that wanted to have this open workspace, thought that building was perfect for it. I don't see a list of people knocking down the door to have an open workspace.
Well, no. Let them have their workspace, whatever do. It's private business.
Yeah.
But let's not involve the city. Isn't Metco also funded by the city, or partially at least?
I'm not. You know what? There's such a weird thing with Medco. I mean, half of the city officials are on the board. Half of the. I don't really know. I'll be honest with you.
Can we find out which firm is doing this study? $91,000. This better be a great study.
Yeah, but why are you doing a study for a private business? Let them do their own study.
So you can justify your existence. We already talked about this.
Sean, anything? Why do you think they're doing a study? I mean,
why are you paying for the study, Sean?
Why are you paying for the study, Sean?
I don't know.
You're speechless, aren't you?
I got nothing to say. I think it's absolutely insane. I don't agree with it. Honestly, I don't. There's 1,001 things that need to be done in this city.
Right.
Starting from infrastructure to city roads to sidewalks to, I don't know, let's bring some businesses downtown. Let's bring, everybody talks about Colony Street. Yeah.
We got to do a study on Colony Street.
Exactly. I want breweries here. I want restaurants here. I want people here. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
I can play the devil's advocate and give you an answer.
Please do.
The answer for the study is you got to crack a couple eggs to make an omelet.
Well, speaking of breweries, you saw Cheshire's getting their first
brown eggs or white eggs, Ren?
Whatever.
Cheshire's getting their first brewery, and everybody Meriden.
Exactly. I'm the one who posted that thing, and I got shit for it. Excuse me.
Well, here, I'll give you.
I had a guy tell me that Cheshire doesn't have businesses. What are you talking about?
I saw that. Yes, Cheshire doesn't have nearly the amount of businesses Meriden has, but Cheshire still has businesses.
Exactly, and their mill rate. Look at their mill rate.
Do they have any empty buildings like us?
No, I'm gonna go.
Look at the mill rate.
I'm gonna make you more upset. So Scotty O'Boyle's, did you see that article?
Yes.
All right. So Scotty O'Boyle's been in business for 10 years on North Colony in Meriden, and I'll be honest with you, I would never personally walk in there. Okay, because to me, on the outside, it looks like a seedy biker bar.
Okay.
Not a place that I would go to. I read the article in Record Journal. Now I want to go. Because now I saw, it's the father and the daughter that run it. They know everybody's name that walks inside there. And now, the whole point of the article was they just opened up a brand new place in North Haven, Cockeyed Crowbar and Grill.
It's doing well.
Oh, my God. They've got like 30-something beers on tap.
It's doing really well.
Yeah,
I've been there. It's fantastic, actually. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And they're focusing more on food. Absolutely. Now, did you ever go to Scotty O'Boyle's beforehand?
Yes, I've been to Scotty O'Boyle's a few times. It's...
Hard to have good wings.
They're one of the best.
Really?
It's not.
Yeah?
I enjoy their wings.
We're always searching for the best wings, and I would never think that Scotty O'Boyle's would. Again, driving by, it's kind of like Cindy's Diner. Cindy's Diner, I would never attempt to walk in there because it looks disgusting. It might be the best food in the world, but I'm not going to walk in there.
Well, you never know now, right?
No. I'll never know now.
AJ's puts out a good wings. They also put out a great prime rib.
Yeah.
Zorba's Teddy made a fantastic prime rib that's out of their world. And you know what? Shout out to Wise Guys. Wise Guys will be putting out wings, and people are going to love that too.
I specifically asked him this week. I get the Bada Bing steak sandwich.
Yep.
I love, give me a cheesesteak on garlic bread with fresh mozzarella, and I'm sold.
Fresh what?
Mozzarella.
What? What's that?
All right. Anyway,
Casa de Roma too. Casa de Roma puts out a good wing too.
But you know what?
With
as soon as he gets his fryer, I'm gonna be all set. But talking about Scotty O'Boyle's and the bar, so check that out anyway. Cockeyed Crowbar and Grill in North Haven. Everybody's gonna say, "Well, why didn't you open it in Meriden?"
And I ask that question all the time.
But I think in that particular feed that we saw on Meriden Talks about that today, I think somebody said, "Would you open up a restaurant in Meriden?" And somebody else said, "Well, give me your or you were asking, give me your reasons why you wouldn't." And I think the reason is obvious. Like I saw the old where Nina's was. Yep. Used to be the old Meriden Electric Company. Then it was a museum. The driving school was in there. Wajid, who owned Nina's, was a very close friend of ours. His cousin owns the building, who owns Alibaba bail bonds. I saw an ad on Facebook Marketplace to rent out the place. Okay, he's talking the first floor, $5,000 a month, and in the advertisement it says high walking traffic. I'm sorry. I love Meriden and I'm trying to make it better, but that's bullshit. You're telling somebody it's a high walking traffic area because it's across from the courthouse.
That's the only reason why.
But it's not.
No, exactly.
No, you're wrong.
So, no,
I'm sure most of the people walking by are high.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good one.
Thank you.
Wow. But no, seriously. I mean, what you're inviting exactly what happened with Landmark. You're inviting people that were told it was a high traffic area, opened up the place, realized nobody's here, and they last 2 or 3 months.
But you don't open up
gone.
a business just on somebody's word. You do market research.
Exactly. We need to study it for $91,000. Mm-hmm. Speaking of market study, the POCD, Plan of
Confirmation.
Conservation. What's the D? Come on.
You know what the D is.
Come on. Oh, my God. I got 2 people here. Nobody's helping. Plan of Conservation Development?
Okay.
Sure.
Works for me.
All right. Well, so they do this plan every 10 years. They had a firm coming up with all the ideas and everything else. They listened to the public on quite a few occasions. They come up with this plan. They just voted it in. They adopted it. So basically, this is a blueprint for city councilors, the mayor, city government to follow for the next 10 years.
Did they finish it?
They finished it, and it passed. And everybody was pissed off because the new buildings on the green weren't on there.
You know what? I got to say something.
Yes.
Before the first dirt was dug on our green, I was there, and they said that they were planning on developing living.
The plans had buildings.
Exactly, and everybody. It seems like everybody had a brain fart and didn't realize that after the ground was dug, they just looked at it like, "Oh, geez, we got a stage. Ooh, great, we're gonna do." Hey, Big Shot came and played Billy Joel tunes all friggin' day.
That was the best time of the green.
Exactly, and 4,500 people showed up to see Michael Jackson. I mean, that's fantastic. But the bottom line is that. I remember Kevin even said the same thing that green was going to be developed on. Right. So people don't act shocked by it because it was purely said that it's going to happen.
I will tell you why. Because they planted grass.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
If they didn't plant grass and they would have kept a chain link fence on that corner for the last 3 years, everybody would be like, when are you going to hurry up and build buildings on that spot?
Exactly.
But because they planted grass.
And Big Shot played there.
Right. Everybody assumes that that's part of the green, and now everybody's upset.
Exactly.
And I gotta give a lot of credit to the architect because they heard the public's bitching and complaining, and they actually downsized the building.
Of course.
Okay, to make it more aesthetic. There's going to be I've seen the plans for over 3 years now. 3 years ago, I saw the plans for these buildings, and they've kind of stayed the same, but they downsized the size. There's going to be really nice courtyard outside with really nice outdoor furniture and tables and everything else. And the main thing that everybody has to remember is it's 80% market value.
Exactly.
This is not going to be a Section 8 building. This is not going to be affordable housing. This is 80% market rate. These are the people that everybody wants to come to Meriden. So
Right.
now is not the time to be arguing about trying to stop buildings from going on the green. The green was built to control flood.
And hold the arc.
It does that. Yes, the
And the
arc
arc.
has its own dock there, and it goes up and down the brook. But the area where they're going to build these buildings has been developed for a building on it. So
Right.
you're not going to get flooding in the basements. Where the mills used to be, and Meriden Commons 1 and 2, there is no flooding there.
And chicken is crispy.
It's a lot of, I mean, that's the reason we started the podcast, was to point out all the bullshit that's not true. There is no flooding in downtown anymore. Yes, in other places there is, but the green did its job. It looks beautiful. People like enjoying themselves there. And yes, there will be buildings on the green because it was designed for those. And it's going to bring 80% market rate people to the town.
Who says?
Record Journal.
Okay.
No,
First off,
and the housing
I'm not
authority.
going to pay 80 if I'm a recent graduate of college and I work in Hartford, and you tell me to come to Meriden and I'm going to live downtown.
Right.
What am I going to do over the weekend? Well, there's nothing on Colony Street besides maybe Lounge 105, maybe
Right.
coming over here, hanging out with you and having a beer or two like that.
Right.
There is nothing to keep young people here. They're going to travel. They're going to either go to New Haven or they're going to find some place in Hartford.
Right, but they have the train to do that.
Ooh, ring a ding ding, and we got the bridge to nowhere. Okay, so again, you tell me what's going to keep Meriden in here. You tell me what's going to lure businesses in here. And again, I'm going to say to you is this. When we don't fill that 80%, when the 80% to market value, when we don't fill that, then we're gonna be subjected of bringing in more low income housing.
I don't think they'll be allowed to do that though.
You want to know
You
what?
think so?
Again, on apples and oranges, man. Again, how much more can we sit there and keep funding low income housing? You gotta draw a line. Our mill rate is increasing, and we don't have the businesses to help us. You can't sit there and put all the tax burden on on the small businesses in here. So many pizza places can pay so much. So small restaurants, bars can only pay so much. You need to bring in a franchise, maybe an Eli's, maybe a Humphreys, maybe a Demery's or something like that.
Do you know how that franchise is going to move in?
They're not going to come here.
Well, they would move in based off of the population. And
our income median's what?
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
But if you get these 80% market rate to move in, then maybe the chains would move in because they're living right here. It's the chicken before the egg.
I'm all for it. If you can figure it out, so then you got these people that their jobs are to promote Meriden. Do your job.
Right.
Figure a way you're going to get the.
You're going to get yelled at for saying that.
Okay, well, so be it. So be it. I've been yelled at by worse and better. So you know what I mean. You figure it out. It's not my job to do it. If you want me to sit there and do it, I'm going to give you ways of doing it. Stop offering this tax incentives to bring businesses here. You need to stop. Show me that you can be here for 2 years or something like that. Try to bring in big businesses. Like somebody kept on saying to me, "Oh, bring in Dave and Buster's. Let's bring in Dave and Buster's. Yay!"
Yeah.
I said my answer to them is, "Why don't you bring in a Amazon? Why don't you bring in jobs that are going to bring in
Did you see
people
what
in here?"
happened? North Haven now, Amazon, because once they put the fulfillment center in there, Amazon is the highest paying taxpayer in North Haven.
Right.
And they are the highest job placement in North Haven.
But
and
then
they're actually lowering their mill rate.
I understand that, and that's fantastic. But then you're going to get these people when they're, well, hey, the owner of Amazon doesn't pay enough in taxes and blah, 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 blah. You want to know what? Okay. But you bring in corporations such as Amazon, you bring in a Sikorsky, or you bring in a Pratt & Whitney, or you bring in somebody that makes rubbers.
Yeah.
You're going to increase the median's going to increase because people are going to get the jobs. Right. And nobody's going to want to work at Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
I'm sorry. And you got Stop and Shop that's turning around and putting in the
robots.
The robots in there. Who's gonna
Walmart too.
You know what I mean? I if I want to go to a grocery store, I want somebody to bag my groceries.
Yeah, but then you have our planning commission that turns down a mosque from being on Roosevelt Parkway
again
because it doesn't fit.
It does't fit
model.
Exactly. So it's all pick and choose. It's all pick and choose. So you know what I mean? Again, like I said, Meriden has all the greatest small businesses in Meriden food places in the world. But you want to know what? That's fine and dandy, but you need to bring in corporations that are going to give people jobs, that are going to make people want to come here, and that's what needs for young people to graduate college. They need to have a job.
Why would those corporations come to Meriden?
Again, you tell me why. I have no idea.
Well, a corporation would
no
come.
idea.
A corporation is looking for the least amount of taxes that they're going to have to pay.
And you're going to tell me, okay, let's offer you 15 years.
Yeah.
Let's offer you 15 years to come here to Meriden. Okay, after the 15 years, bye bye.
Right.
You know what I mean? After 2 years, I'm all for helping a business come in here. But my thing is, stay here a year or two.
Right.
And then if you're sitting there making your money, then start offering the breaks. But you want to know what? Again, they get paid the big bucks. Me, I just got an opinion, and my opinion's like an asshole.
Right.
So again, that's the way I look at it. For a company that I worked for us to have to leave, and we left Meriden. We left Meriden because of the tax break, and we went to them and said, "Hey, help us." And you want to know what? They turned around and said, "Nope, sorry, Charlie." So we left.
Yeah.
So that's where you have, you know what I mean? Make the business that are here, that have been here for a period of or past 2 years, try to keep them here, offer them tax breaks so that they're encouraged to hire people outside.
But what does help us mean? Help us mean is reaching into the pockets of taxpayers, people that live in this town, and giving it to these companies.
Well,
right?
and I think like what Sean's been trying to do lately, I've noticed it on Meriden Talks. He's trying to really promote getting out there and supporting your local businesses. But I don't think I'm sorry, if you have somebody who sells candles is not going to be able to afford to open up a shop downtown just for candles. And anyway, most customers are going to buy their candles online.
And they're going to buy their stuff on Amazon.
Or they're going to
Absolutely.
or they're going to go to the big, Bed Bath & Beyond or something like that. You really need to focus on restaurants, bars, nightclubs, breweries.
Casino.
That's what people will come downtown for. They're not going to come down for the soap.
I get it.
You guys are not giving the city a lot of credit that's deserved.
Go ahead.
They just passed that ordinance stuff that you can open a tattoo shop if you want.
Hey, you want to know what? I think it's fantastic if they're loosening up the restrictions, such as stuff like that. I think that's fantastic.
Why were the restrictions there in the first place?
Well,
good question.
It should be. Well, the same thing. They won't let a gentleman's club be anywhere downtown in the transit-oriented district because it's looked at as dirty, and I think that's what they looked at as. For tattooing. I think they were looking at it as, we don't want this clientele. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I want to cash a check, I don't know where to go.
Well, I think I've said it before. Daytona Beach, Florida, used to have spring break, and all the people that lived there, oh, no, we got to get rid of these kids. They got rid of them, and now they've been trying to get them back for the last 20 years because they realized what they lost. You know what I mean?
Dirty laundry.
All right, here's a couple of rumors. You ready?
Yeah.
Not sure if you heard these yet, Sean. The rumor is that the mall is going to go out of business.
Yep.
That's not a far fetch.
Oh, that's happened sooner than everybody believes. Trust me on that one.
And Mid-State will take it over. That's the rumor is that Mid-State and medical offices, rehab centers, and which I personally think is a great idea. The problem is it's not going to bring in any taxpayers because most of your medical is nonprofit. The other rumor is selling the golf course and the airport and privatizing it. These are rumors.
That's a fantastic idea. Somebody asked me, they said to me, Sean, they asked me directly, they said, does the hospital pay any taxes? And I don't have a general accent.
It's a very small amount. It's a very small amount. And I think where it comes from is the hospital, Mid-State itself doesn't pay taxes, but there's certain medical offices that are outsourced that are in there that would pay taxes. So it's a very small amount.
Right.
Okay.
But what it does bring is a lot of workers. It brings a lot of employment. It brings people to the area that Meriden then has to capitalize on these people being here.
The injured people?
And develop around it. Even the injured people. I mean, look, you go to the courthouse if you got a court date.
Right. How'd you know about that?
Any courthouse in the country you go to, you get a lunch break. What do? You go outside and you try and find whatever the closest place is to eat.
Right. I usually bring a sandwich.
Back in. Well, it's the same thing with medical too, but usually the medical has like a cafeteria or something in there.
See.
What?
You were trying to have a point and it didn't work out.
Dirty laundry.
All right. Well.
Hey, you want to know what? You have.
You threw me on my game.
All right. So Meriden has a dispensary.
Right.
Okay. I'm sure they're helping, put a dent into paying taxes and everything else like that.
That's an incentive zone too.
Absolutely, it is. So then have another one. Open up another one. Let's be realistic here. If the state of Connecticut would finally, wake the fuck up, and make it legal, well, you can generate a lot of money and use it for, fixing our fucking roads and doing what's needed to be done. And people need to, stop stereotyping, weed.
So you're saying Meriden people need more dope?
Well, we obviously we're on it plenty if we're still living here, but again, I think Meriden is fantastic as far as the community and everybody comes together and they help everybody, and I think it's fantastic and everything else like that. But the object is, instead of asking what Meriden can do for people need to help Meriden a little bit here.
Right.
Everybody's bitching and complaining, oh, Zorba's closed, oh, this place closed, oh, this place closed. Well,
right.
You know what? Those places wouldn't have closed if you would have gotten off your asses and supported them.
Well,
right.
and
I'm gonna be firm with that. Everybody's coming down on Zorba's going, hey, well, Zorba's is closed. Well, you want to know what? Where were you when you walk in there, the place is dead. Then you're gonna go, well, I went there and ordered a pizza. Yeah. Okay, good. There's 1,001 pizza places in Meriden, but you're bitching and complaining. Oh, Zorba's was fantastic, but you never supported it.
Well, again, though, but if you think about like a printing company in Meriden,
there's several.
Okay, I'm going to pay for Vistaprint.
Absolutely. Okay,
it's dirt cheap. I can't. Now, it's one thing if where the local business guy will come into play.
Okay,
is I could probably get it printed that day. And get it, which is worth paying a little bit more.
Right.
But if you're on a budget and you don't have the money, you're going to go to the cheapest place you can, which is online. It's different with food, with restaurants. There is no online for, Meatball gets his day-old meats from Omaha all the time, but that's a totally different story.
The age, you're jealous.
Meriden needs to focus on restaurants, bars, breweries, nightlife, because the shopping is just not there. And you look at our mall, and it's
exactly.
pretty obvious.
And I'm fine with that. And I 110% support that. So if you're going to try to fill downtown with the full market value, you need to figure out the 25 to 35, the demographic, whatever I'm trying to say here. You need to figure that out and cater to that party and cater to that group of people. Right. The people that live outside the areas that, have the houses and everything else like that, that can balance itself out.
But you know what happens? I get approached on a weekly basis. Local nonprofit wants to throw an event at the banquet hall. Mm-hmm. We don't have a budget. What can you do? Well, I can't do anything. What can I do? I'm a business and I need to make money and I have bills to pay. I'm sorry, I can't help you. And when I turn that nonprofit down, the word spreads. Oh, those guys are assholes.
But you want to know what people have to realize, that you have to pay your utility bills. Right. You have to pay your workers. You have to do everything else like that. Everybody I got brake pads. I need a mechanic or somebody to put them on there really cheap.
Right. The best one was
not how it works.
Last week. The other day, somebody posted on one of the wedding groups that I follow. They wanted the best and cheapest. Oh no, it was on Meriden Talks. Somebody wanted the best and cheapest rental hall in town.
Oh, cool.
And I think it might have been you, Sean, that said best usually doesn't go with cheapest.
Exactly.
I mean, but that's the clientele in the area, and it's trying to raise that level of.
Again, you pay what you get for. Okay, so you know what I mean. So if you want to fill that 80% market value, good luck with that. You know what I mean. So
but all the blame doesn't go on the new apartments. There's
I agree with you.
People already here that are not supporting the businesses.
I agree.
And they're the same people that will complain about, stuff is going out of business in my town.
Why isn't there a Chinese restaurant at 24 Colony? Go to Queens, go to Brooklyn, go to the Bronx. Every apartment building you see has a Chinese restaurant underneath it.
I got an opinion about 24 Colony Street. Okay, you had an opportunity when that, not you.
Yeah.
When I say you, I'm not meaning you.
People.
The people that built that building, they should have been putting in the vents and doing everything beforehand.
Well, there's a mixed thing on that.
And I
have heard that the building was not vented for a restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
And on the other hand, I have heard that they specifically designed the corner of Church and Colony, as some like to call
Chuco,
that they specifically designed that corner for a restaurant and that it is vented. Now, I've heard that there are vents that go from the first floor up to the roof. It's up to you to put the hood in with the ventilation system, but that it is piped.
Really?
What's the truth?
Really?
I have no clue because it goes back and forth.
All right. So anybody listening to this that can get me into that building and show me, let's make it a field trip.
Well, that would be Rick Ross.
Okay.
Is the property management.
Rick, I'd love to meet with you and walk into that building and do that. Why should you bring businesses down there? Why aren't they having those things?
Well,
there's obviously a reason why these businesses.
You just said it yourself. You assume they want to bring business down here.
I guess they don't.
But Rick Ross and 24 Colony doesn't.
They're making
care.
money.
They don't care
right,
whether
they're
that's
making
filled.
right. They're making the money because they're making their money off the rents that they have already in there. So obviously they don't care.
And I've also heard that I heard firsthand that it was always their intention to not put anybody in there for the first 2 years, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Right, and who allowed this to happen?
Meatball.
It wasn't me.
Any ideas? All right. So wait, here's off topic.
Go.
You are a Republican, correct, Sean?
Yes, sir.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Because there's a difference.
Of course, I'm a fiscal conservative, and let's put it this way. Trump wasn't my first choice. All right. So if you want to be technical, I went through the whole list. Okay. It went from Rubio. It went to Kenny Cruz. My choices went down. You know what I mean? And then as it got closer and closer and closer, then Trump was my support. Trump was it. So what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Again, you're going to ask me. You're going to ask me to go against Trump and Hillary Clinton? No.
No.
Hillary Clinton can kiss my ass.
But do you see a difference between a Republican and a Trump supporter?
Absolutely.
You do see a difference.
Absolutely.
And actually,
absolutely.
wait. I forgot to play my
national news.
That's my little theme drop. Well, the reason why I bring this up is because we were at Walmart the other day. Me and Meatball took a trip because we were price checking different items. Don't ask. We'll get into that later. Okay, so we went to Walmart down in Wallingford. And in the parking lot, Meatball says, "Oh, look at that food truck. I wonder if they have meatballs."
Yeah, it was a Trump minivan.
Yeah, we drove
it was.
over there, and it was a Trump mobile.
Right.
It was a camper.
Right.
Okay, and it had banners on the side of it, and it was each banner had lights on it.
Right.
Okay.
They had no meatballs.
Nope. No meatballs. I have no problem with that. You want to promote your president, you want to promote your candidate, go for it. Promote it. I don't have to agree with you or not.
Correct.
What I didn't like was, one of the banners was a picture of Rambo with Trump's face on it, holding the friggin' machine gun. Another one said, our goal is to make Democrats cry. Another one was, it was all negativity. And if you look at what his, what was the speech last week? State of the Union.
State of the Union.
If you look at the State of the Union speech he did, everything was negative towards the other party, negative towards the other half of this country, instead of, how are you bringing people together? What do we have to look forward for the future? I don't give a shit about the last guy that was in office. I don't care about the other side. What are you doing to bring it together?
Okay.
Here you got this guy in the Walmart parking lot. Instead of just saying, "Hey, Trump 2020, maybe put your statistics on there. Why do you like the guy?" The entire camper was negativity towards 50% of this country. And that's what I don't like. That's really the only thing that I don't like.
Okay. You may not agree with me, or you can agree with me as much as you do, but the people on the East Coast and the West Coast think that we're the supreme beings and we know everything that's going on in politics. And we're actually
we have better pizza.
Actually, you want to know what? Jersey's the only place I ever heard a seagull cough. Okay, so.
Oh, snap. No, he didn't.
Wow.
Okay, Joey.
Well, you know what Rhode Island clam is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Rhode Island clam?
Okay. So, again, we think that in California and the East Coast and the West Coast think that we're the
They're
ones
more
that
diverse
determine
than the inner part of
and
the
we're
country.
really not. The interior of the United States are the ones that determine who.
Those are the rednecks, the Hicks, and the military people.
Yeah, exactly, and they're the ones that determine whatever it is.
Right.
So when you turn on, I don't care. I don't watch Fox News, contrary to what everybody's belief is. I don't watch Cox News. Okay.
Cox News. You said it exactly correct.
Cox News, exactly. And that's how I refer to it as. Okay, Fox News. There's a difference. He's he was elected and he's commander in chief. So when you constantly turn on the news, and we all know that the media is the way it is, if they turn around and say Trump did this, you constantly get the negativity. People are actually believing half of the shit that's being done.
Right.
You want to know what? I'm going to go on record as saying, you want to know what? These past 4 years, my 401k is doing pretty well. I'm doing well. I'm making money. I'm sure the economy is doing pretty well, and the economy is doing well. Businesses are working. People are working. The numbers don't lie. They're out there. The people that do the numbers, to quote our Patricelli, the people that do the numbers are lying.
But don't you think that is more in testament to the Republicans being in charge rather than the actual president?
How are the Republicans in charge? The Republicans control the Senate. Who controls the House? Now the Democrats. Excuse me. The Democrats control the House. You have the Democrats that turned around and sitting there persecuting President Trump or putting him through an impeachment process and badgering this guy before he was even put into office, saying we're going to impeach the motherfucker. So again, it's already been proven. And again, I know I'm going to have my phone blow up and people talk about me and everything they want to do. Go ahead, do your research.
Right, but here's a question for you. At what point? And tell me honestly now, because I like to think of myself as looking. I feel that I'm really good at seeing both sides of everything. I might not agree with you, but I need to be able to understand your side, whether I agree or not.
Sure, go ahead.
I feel the Republican side doesn't do that, and it may just be the Republicans that I talk to. But at what point is there anything that this president could do that would make you say, all right, you know what? Maybe this is a bad choice. I mean, because it seems like no matter what he does, look, let's face it. We've caught him in many lies. It might be stupid lies, like how many people showed up at his inauguration.
Okay.
But when somebody is trying to get your eyes to disbelieve what you see, the little things keep adding up. And I'm just curious, when he said, I could go shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they won't care. I really think it's true. I really don't think anybody would care.
But Obama walked on water, man.
But I know what you're saying, that, everybody, Democrats have been going at him hard and been trying to get him out of here for years.
I think this conversation is running away.
No, but let's keep focused. I'm just curious, at what point what would it take? What would he have to do
double murder suicide
for you to say, you know what, maybe they have a point? Because I see our side of things. I see the Democratic. I see the independent side of things.
It's not a fair question. You can't answer that. Well, let's bring the conversation back.
Let's talk about Meriden as I turn around and talk about that. I agree.
Do you think the Democrat Republican has any basis in Meriden, or do you think it's just people versus people?
In Meriden?
Yes.
Meriden's controlled by, we all know, the Good Old Boy Club, and Meriden's controlled by the Democratic Party.
Right.
So again, for me, the big upset was Michael Carabetta beating Kathy Batista, and Kathy just disregarded Michael's push for the referendum. And I know certain people. I know you're not comfortable with that, and I understand that, and I respect that. But
what?
Again, the referendum. The referendum. People in the city of Meriden they said, don't increase the taxes. Enough with the taxes. Enough. And stop increasing. Stop. And
I'll disagree with that.
Okay.
And I tell you why. Because you know what, you need a certain number of signatures, right?
Yes.
You guys had to go out and hunt for them, right? People of Meriden didn't come voluntarily, kind of thing.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. They did come. I had people come to me. I did go door knocking, and so did Carabetta. So did the other people.
Right.
Some people went to Dunkin' Donuts and stood in the drive-thru and handed their stuff. And they did do that.
I heard Caver Shriver did that.
Yeah. At Les's.
But I don't believe it.
At Les's, yeah, and you were getting free ice cream too.
Right.
So again, people did come out, and 5,999 people came out. And they voiced their opinions. And for the city council to turn around and disregard and turn around and say, well, you're cutting this, you're cutting this, you're cutting this. You know what? I wasn't for the NI officers. Again, I'm for total policing. I think
I wasn't for the NI also.
Exactly. I want Meriden police officers to sit there and actually walk the beat.
Right.
And I think every officer should be doing their job. Why should I have to contact an NI officer on Monday morning when he's off for the weekend, when majority of the stuff happens during the weekend?
But how is that Democrat versus Republican issue?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
Right.
But it shouldn't be. But again, you sit there and you look at the council. The council is controlled by Democrats.
Right.
It's totally controlled.
But I also sit there and look at the council and with that banquet hall fiasco.
Again, you want to talk about that banquet facility?
Right.
I think I was there and I'm disgusted. I'm totally disgusted.
With just one side or both sides?
I'm disgusted with. I applaud Dan Bernay and Mike Carabetta for saying let's bring this to the vote. I'm disgusted on Sonia Jelks and Mike Rohde and we the people for being okay. You got Mike Carabetta and forgive me guys, you guys may not like it, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You got Mike Carabetta and you got Dan Bernay that turned around and said let's vote on this. Right. You got Sonia Jelks and Mike Rohde. I got some choice.
Don't forget Castro.
Oh no. I'm not even going to talk about Super Ninja. Okay, and you got those two that want to sit there and suggest tabling it.
Right.
When the constituents, when people like myself and other taxpayers told them, regardless if we've read their names off of on face, read their names and everything. I already know your guys' opinion on that. And I respect that.
He didn't like it. I liked it.
And I respect it. I respect it. Okay. But you people, all right. I can't even give you a number. People told you, don't do it. We want to vote on it. We don't want it. We don't want it. And then you got the other Muppets, Muppets, you understand that? Muppets that sat there and did nothing, didn't even open their mouth. You heard chirps. Right. And that annoys the shit out of me.
Well, and I think what it is they're scapegoats. Counselors don't want to vote on something and piss off their fellow counselors.
Well, you want to know what? You want to know what? You got one that turned around and was questioned straight to his face. Right. Hi, Miguel. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you. All right? And you can hate me, Miguel. You can egg my house, but you know where I live, buddy. All right? Again, you were asked. And you turned around and said, well, you want to know what? I wanted it to go to a vote on the council, and you didn't even speak your mind. Right. You had an opportunity. And you chose not to. So, again, it shows the fact that we the people, keep electing the same type of people into office, and you want to know what? We've come complacent.
So do you think it's Democrat versus Republican, or is it us versus them?
I don't think it's Democrat versus Republican. I think it's us versus them, and I don't think it matters who goes in there.
I don't think it exactly. Right. Again, it's here, council. It's okay for you to say no every once in a while. Right. Again, say no. Try it every once in a while. No.
But I don't know what it's going to take to, I think the people that voiced their opinions that were there, and yes, I had an entire 3-minute speech. I timed it out. I'm holding it because I want to read it to Mike Rohde when he comes on, because I feel like I'll get a direct response from him rather than if I would have read it at the council meeting, which I couldn't make because of an emergency. If I would have read it there, nobody would have responded to me. So I'm waiting for Mike Rohde to come so I could read it, so I could actually get his response. And I'm open to hearing the other side of things. I want to know what's their mindset, why they do things the way they do. Right. But it doesn't make sense. Everybody that goes there and speaks at council meetings is looked at as the wackos, the crazies, the ones that conspiracy theories.
We're anti-tax. That's the greatest one. I love it. I love being told that I'm anti-tax.
You're the anti-tax. But if you think about it, the majority of this town votes party lines. Majority of this town, I mean, let's face it, only 25 to 50 people show up at council meetings. So that means the other 59,000 people pretty much vote party lines and probably have never met the people in charge of this city. Right. So those 25 or 50 people that show up at the council meetings, those are the people holding you accountable. These are the people that you really do need to listen to.
But you want to know what? These elected officials don't listen. They should be listening. I don't know where they stop listening.
Why would they listen though?
I don't know. You got me. You want to know what? If we could, I'm all for term limits. So let's get this straight. I think, you know what? I think the charter needs to be revised. I think our city manager should be fired. Hi, Kuhn. Okay, let's pay our mayor $90,000 a year and let him make the budget and let's bring it to the council.
Well, why did that ever change?
Again,
that changed what? Back in the 80s?
You want the city manager to be an elected position?
No. I didn't say that. I don't think the city. I don't think the city mayor. I don't think we need a mayor and a city manager.
All right.
So bye city manager.
So who would take a role of the city manager? The mayor, right?
The mayor.
Would be an elected position.
The mayor will be an elected position.
And you want this? You thought about this?
I don't want it. I wouldn't want that job. There's
No. You thought about this solution as the best solution.
I think so.
You want the people to vote in a city manager.
I
if we
agree
call
with
him a
Sean.
mayor or not.
I don't.
Why?
Because that's the way most of the country works. I mean, look at New Britain. You keep talking about Erin Stewart.
Right.
She's the
New
mayor,
Britain.
but she is the. There is no city manager
Sure,
in
New
most
Britain.
towns.
So what?
Most towns.
So you want people of Meriden to vote in the next city manager?
I don't want people to vote in the next city manager. I want.
But if the mayor's a city manager,
all right. Okay. So what's your issue with this, Meatball? Because I see where you're going with it.
I think people should think about that before they start screaming.
All right. So what's better? Either the citizens who normally vote party lines end up voting in a mayor who's in charge of your budget, right? Because you won't have a city manager.
Think about this.
Or you're taking the city councilors who are appointing somebody as city manager. So would you rather leave it in the hands of 12 people, or would you rather leave it in the hands of 30,000?
No, that's not how it works.
How does it work? Explain.
So you're gonna have parties nominate a city manager, right?
Right.
Whoever body there's be it Rhodey or be it Kevin or be it whoever.
Right.
Now nobody that has experience with making financial decisions or anything.
Right.
Just getting voted in because he's a body of somebody.
Right.
Versus somebody that has experience being a city manager.
See, I'm on the fence with that because I mean you make a good point.
But you gotta think about that. Do you want to vote in a city manager? I think that'd be even
okay. But
I just don't like telling you that you're right.
You get it. I don't know. I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. But when you run for mayor, you run for mayor, and we don't have a city manager. You're gonna surround yourself with people that are gonna give you informed decisions, and that you're gonna have your accountants. You're gonna have everybody there giving you your support, doing what you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. In perfect world, yes.
You're absolutely correct. I have a hard time having a city manager that just rents an apartment and doesn't pay in their tax base in the city of Meriden. Telling me,
but that's a totally different issue.
I understand that. I understand that.
But I see what he's saying.
When you don't have a vested interest or a financial vested interest in the city of Meriden, who gives a shit, right?
And that was the question when trying to pick out the new police chief.
Exactly. Right. Okay. So you talk about Erin Stewart in New Britain. New Britain had a city manager at one particular time.
Right.
Erin Stewart came in and they did it. And now look at New Britain.
Right.
Just look at it. They figured it out. It took them a while, but they figured it out. So here it is. You're putting the responsibility on the mayor. What is the role of the mayor in Meriden?
Ceremonial ribbon cutting.
Okay, I like Kevin. I think Kevin's. Kevin's
he does
a great guy.
Great job.
I think Kevin has shown some neutrality. And you want to know what? When Kevin doesn't show neutrality, I'll be the first one to be his biggest critic.
Yeah.
But he turns around and he listens. He actually does listen.
Right.
But he gets his hands tied. And he's told what to do.
He's got no authority.
He has
most of
no
the time.
authority.
Right.
So where are you going to go? So you address the city manager, and the city manager just looks at you like a deer in a headlight. He doesn't care. He doesn't have. Okay, forgive me, Kuhn. But again, it's all out there.
Well, welcome to Dirty Laundry, because that's how we get.
Again,
Yeah, well, would Kevin get some kind of authority if he was voted in as the city manager?
Well, I don't know whether
you keep saying
Right.
keep saying city manager.
It's the
Kevin.
same thing.
Yeah, but he's the mayor. He deserves that title. If he's the mayor, he's the mayor, and he's in charge of doing the budgets and doing what a city manager is told to do.
Right.
I think as being a mayor, your requirements, you better have some type of experience. People would. They're not just going to vote some 19-year-old kid that doesn't have any experience.
So let me ask you this.
You know how the elections go in the city hall?
Wait. Let me ask you this, and I don't know what the answer is. So let's just say Meriden went back to the old way and didn't have a city manager, the mayor did everything.
Yes.
Would Kevin have been voted in, and is he qualified So the qualifications, like, in other words, what are the qualifications for mayor now compared to when we didn't have a city manager? It's got to be totally different. Pretty much anybody could be.
You can have qualification for a voting position.
I don't want this to sound disrespectful towards Kevin whatsoever, because I really like Kevin, and I think he does. He's very impartial,
Absolutely.
and he's excellent,
And he brings chocolate.
But I don't think there's much qualification for that type of mayoral position in Meriden compared to as if we didn't have a city manager. Correct?
Yeah.
I mean, as city managers, you got to be able to do
But what
budgets. You
kind
got
of
to be able to
point-
do
Right. What kind of point are you
taxes.
trying
gotta
to
be able
make?
to do everything.
What point are you making?
Would Kevin be qualified to be the city manager?
Even if he wasn't, he's going to get voted in.
And then what happens? That's what my
right.
point
So
is.
my point is, what does if he doesn't have experience, he doesn't have prior city manager experience.
In other words,
it's going to be a voted in person.
There would have to be,
and it's back to the council.
There has to be a list of qualifications for you to be able to run. I think there's got to be a minimum.
I don't think that's constitutional.
I don't think there are qualifications. I think whoever would become mayor, if we didn't have a city manager, I think that person would surround themselves with some pretty intelligent people. You would actually do so. I think
you hope.
Why would
that person do that? Why can't Kuhn do that? Why wouldn't Kuhn surround himself with positive people that can do magic?
Okay, sure. Okay, I'm sure he does, and I'm sure he has a group of people out there. But
it would be the same people if it was Kevin or Kuhn, right?
Correct,
but I don't. The same staff.
Okay, but then okay, if that's the case, then why have a mayor? Okay, so why have one? Why are we voting for a mayor?
Why not?
Why are we?
Why not?
Oh boy, this is going great.
Why are we?
I think every city in town has a mayor, no?
Obviously,
right.
But does every town have a city manager? No.
All right, we got to continue.
Well, every town does have a city manager.
We got to continue this
whatever
conversation.
You call it, a mayor or a city manager, it's still managing the city.
So you mean to tell me that Aaron Stewart over in New Britain answers to somebody? Who does she
No,
answer?
she's a city manager.
Right.
She's a mayor
I understand.
and city manager.
I understand that. So the only people that she presents herself to is to the city council, and the city council will sit there and determine whatever. X,
right.
Y,
That's
and
your
Z.
checks and balances.
That's your checks and
council.
balances. Right. So so we have a city manager. We have a city manager in Meriden, and we have Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
So why does one need the other? That's what I'm asking you. Why does one need the other?
Would you want Kuhn to be your mayor?
Please.
See?
All right, on that note, we got to go.
But Kevin sings.
We'll have to continue this.
Oh, we're ending it now?
Yeah, we have to continue this. We'll have to continue it.
All right.
Thank you to Sean for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see how many emails we get from you. having
Happy
you on.
Valentine's.
But
it's my birthday on Saturday, so can you guys wish me happy birthday?
We will wish you a happy birthday.
Can we go get a meatball sandwich, Meatball?
I think
I don't need that stuff.
No, we'll have to have Sean on again, and we'll see what the feedback is. Dirty Laundry CT at gmail.com if you want to be a sponsor, or you want to just write us an email telling us how much we suck. That would be
how much you love us, because it's Valentine's.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean, for coming.
Thank you
for inviting me.
We'll try and have you on again.
Bye-bye.
Soon. Maybe next week. Dirty Laundry.
That's enough.